all love to Hugh Jackman because he's our Wolverine for sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Henry Cavill almost looks more like. What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out Podcast. We've got another episode for you. We're going to geek out about a few things. We're going to give you our review on Batman Cape Crusader. We're going to give you our thoughts about Henry Cavill's Wolverine variant. John Wick is getting a spin-off show, and many more news and reviews to give out there on this week's show. Guys, as usual, check the description for the timestamp. If you want to skip to specific parts of the show, if you want to skip the small talk and the early talk and the whatever in the beginning, you have the flexibility to move around the show wherever you need to go. But as always, I'm joined by Kibbs. How's it going, bro?
Happening, man. Hope all is good. All is good, bro. It's been again busy week. You know, I'm on this new venture right now, so trying to build a website and promote the business. And soon, I'll let people know. Actually, you know what? We're talking about soon. But listen, I'm gonna say this podcast is sponsored by Cherish Clicks. Yeah. So capture your moments on a Magic Mirror selfie booth. We started a business just last month, and we're starting to put things into place right now. So we've done 2 events. We're doing, I'm trying to do marketing as well. I'm doing a lot more marketing on socials as well. But I'm gonna start putting it in the beginning. Sponsored by Cherish Click. So guys, if you've got any type of events where it's kids parties, weddings, henna parties, engagement parties, and you want to capture those moments and you want for friends and family to get great photos as well, we got a photo booth. It's like a Magic Mirror selfie photo booth, which will capture all your favorite funny moments with different props and things like that. So from now on, proud sponsor of the Brothers Geek Out Podcast, Cherish Clicks. There we go. There you go. Some good news to start off with.
Awesome.
But yeah, just working on that, bro. Just trying to push that. You know what I mean? Before the podcast, we spoke about little things that we would like to change on the podcast as well, things we want to try. So we've got new things to happen as well. And just being a full-time dad at the moment now, man, trying to keep up with things. To be honest, I had a horrible 2 days. I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday night, no sleep at all. Chronic pain is no joke. Like, I've had pins and needles in my legs and my lower back for 2 days, couldn't sleep, which puts you in more worry, more frustration. You end up becoming angry with the whole world. And with what current situation in the UK at the moment with all these riots and, I missed out on a couple of opportunities that I love going to, like getting out the house to go to screenings and events, but just to be on the safe side, canceling that. It was horrible. That part was horrible. And chronic pain is not nice as well. So my mood was already off. And, I've been doing it without medication, but yesterday I had to use the medication because I was like, I have not slept. This pain is horrendous. And even though I was stretching and doing yoga in between, like the pain, we can burden the amount. There's a certain amount of pain that we can burden, and it can reach to a point where you're like, oh my god, this is like really ruining me. Thank you very much, Daddy. Really ruining just things, because I was upset with myself suddenly regarding losing stuff. I found one thing, I've lost something else. My memory's so forgetful. I'm coming to a point where I have to put GPS trackers on everything. But yeah, chronic pain is not good. I had to take the meds. I don't like taking the meds because it makes you feel more depressed. They're really high pain killer medication. It's stuff Dad's on, and I think that's what put Dad on a bit of a rough road because of those painkillers. Not just ruin your internals, they ruin you mentally, bro, because you're dependent. And I hate the fact that I had to take it yesterday, but I was like, I was suffering too much. Pins and needles throughout your whole leg and my knees, and I was like, what? This is a whole different feeling of pain. Like, keep saying I'm feeling my age. It's not that. It's just my back's gone. That's it. It's something I'm gonna have to live with. But I've maintained it with stretching, yoga, and the training that I am doing. But there are gonna be days where I'm gonna have to jump on that, and I hate that. because it was horrible. And it ruins my stomach, man. It's sudden bubble guts, man. Go to the toilet, run and destroy the toilet. I just cleaned it. You know when you just clean the toilet fresh, you have to go back and clean it. It was like
Destroy it.
butters,
Nice.
man. This medication is ruining my stomach. But yeah, bro, listen, other than that, listen, just trying to push the business, and we've got some great episodes that come out. I've got an episode that's come out today with Anna Crusader, said the name right, model, lover of rock, cosplayer. Really awesome episode. We talk about the industry at the moment. She talks about cosplaying and her modeling career as well, but just in general about how movies have changed and the geekiness has changed and how things are force fed to us now, it was a great episode. We could have went on for longer, but we've cut it short so that the listeners have just enough amount to say, you know what, we'd like that guest back on again. And that's one thing that I want to try and interact with you guys, is that we can get your thoughts, please. Like we say it, you guys are listening. Even if you are usual listeners and you would say, you know what, I'd love Gilman and Kibbs to check this out or talk about this, just message. Honestly, just message. Started a new series called Kappa Comics. I've had that idea in my mind for a while. Wanted to try something different and try different, go on a separate platform and give it a go. Had my first, oh man, Kappa Comics. Kappa Comics is based on me and a friend or a guest having a cup of tea or a coffee, and we talk about their favorite comic or book. And it's an episode I wanted to do for a long time, where we go outside, we do it live, we chill and we just talk, and then we talk about their creative process and their artisticness and any projects that they're working on. And as you saw, Rob Aylin, who jumped on the pod on the episode, good friend, and 2 years down the line, 2 years ago, he had one of our podcasts with Michael Adji about his mental health and how boxing saved his life, and wrote a story, writing, directing, and it's spurred off into a movie, and like I want to help support it. So Kickstarter's in the link as well. But Kappa Comics issue 1 is out now. Go check it out. Yeah, bro. I think with a lot of the free time I got now, I've got to try and put some things into place so that will be a monthly episode, because I have to go out there, film it, edit it, so it wouldn't interrupt. I didn't want it to conflict with what we do as well. It's still a part of the Brothers Geek Out podcast, and that's why it's got the Brothers Geek Out podcast logo on there, because that's the original hub. It's still under the same corporate umbrella. Just wanted to do something a bit more different to get back to creatives as well. And yeah,
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You gave me a thought. I wonder if I, would Fight Talk, if we should make that a separate thing. Not separate, but like have it a separate channel, but then linking it to the Brothers Geek Out. I wonder if that's something like we could do as well, or we should do. I don't know if it's beneficial or whatnot.
There you go. That's the thing. I think this is where people get stuck, and this is just me. And I think this is what me and Rob were talking about. We just get stuck sometimes. But I think what's wrong with not just doing it? That's why I was like, I could have put it on the Brothers Geek Out channel, like now, but we've already got the Geek Out session on there. So that's that's people from all different backgrounds coming onto the show. I'll continue that, and I've separated it now so that it's season 2, so people can enjoy it as like doses instead of. I think at one point we were just having episodes coming out really quick. So what I would want to try and do now, and what you guys can listen to, because this is behind the scenes stuff, is once a month we have a guest on. Yeah. Whether it's on the actual podcast itself or we do the Geek Out sessions. But once a month I'd like somebody on, because then that episode becomes a Geek Out session anyway, because we've got somebody online.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. That sounds good. I took a look. Yeah. I did enjoy it. I thought it was done pretty well. And you guys are just on topic with the specific comic, and it was great for you guys to just kind of talk about that comics, and not just talk about that comic, but what it meant to you guys, what it meant to the writer, what the writer went through. It was kind of deep. It was really good. Really enjoyable.
Right, if you get the chance, read the book. It is a really good book.
It
You've read
starts
that one?
off. It starts off with him explaining how he got beaten up and mugged, right?
Yeah.
And he's the character in the book.
Yeah.
He's talking about himself. It's actually, no, it's definitely awesome. Yeah,
It's a great adaptation of a writer putting himself into a story and making it work that good as well. Because, bro, cult classic. That's one of my favorite Batman stories, and it was based on a guy who adores this stuff, bro. And his hero didn't save him because he writes about it. I've still got this thing on my head.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, glad you enjoyed it. Something new. And listen, bro, this can expand. So if you get the chance to speak to somebody where you could record it, on your phone, having a cup of coffee with a friend there, do it, bro. Honestly, do it. Just let me know. Just send me the footage and stuff later. But if, say like you go to Comic Cave and just do it there on your phone, bro. You know what I mean? It's so random, but at
Mm.
least you're there together doing it. You know what I mean? And then, there's more opportunities to come. We're expanding, bro. We're gonna go. The Brothers Geek Out goes a little bit outside of the UK now with opportunities, which is
Oh
great
yeah,
to hear.
yeah,
So this
yeah.
week was a great to hear about that news as well. Yeah, it should be good. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do next, man.
I'm looking forward to that too. Actually, that night when we got the news or got the link, should I say, for like Middle East or whatnot, I started having dreams and shit of interviewing certain people. I started getting nervous and shit. But not that any of those opportunities come, but I was just thinking about the future. I was like, shit, if this is real now, like not just hopefully some of the premieres and whatnot, but we're talking about interviews and all that sort of stuff, which I do it with friends, not with be it celebrities or whatever. I do it with people who I am already friends with or I train with or I've met or whatnot. So it'll be an interesting venture in it, but we're expanded. That's what I'm saying. We've expanded. We're a global thing anyway, but just to get that connection in Middle East is about time. I did want to go back on the chronic pain thing that you're talking about. Like, I mean, look, it's a shame. The pills, man, I've been trying. I know Dad stopped taking most of it or some of it. And he doesn't take any more. That doctors keep trying to put him on. He's like, no, I'm not gonna take it. So he understands that,
Yeah.
the doctors are just trying to sell it. It's a shame that you're going through that. I mean, just keep training and keep you gotta keep it strong, keep training. I don't know how the extent of the damage is or what it is, but diet as well, try and keep your inflammation down. I mean,
Well,
look,
listen, bro, I'm doing that, and I take what is it, the turmeric and black pepper pills, the herbal vitamins, which really help with inflammation. And I've noticed, like, it has, even with the training I'm doing, I notice, with my stretching and yoga, that I'm not that much in pain no more. And I try, like, I do my stretches every day, bro. That's the thing that maintains the strain in my back. But with degenerative this disease is that the lower lumbar support is already worn out, and that's over years. And that's maybe lifting things wrong, pressure, sleeping, like not sleeping properly. Bro, you forget. I am 40. I'm 43 this year, so like my
I know,
body.
but I know that,
It,
yeah. But that age thing, bro, because I see, obviously, I follow the fitness world and all that sort of stuff, and I know people are different and whatnot, lifestyle's different, all that sort of stuff. But I've seen people 70-year-old, 80-year-old, just like fine, you know what I mean? And again, lifestyle's different, upbringing, all that sort of stuff is different. But people that you can. I listen. I'm 40. I'm getting 40 now, and trust me, I feel it as well. Like after a jiu-jitsu class, after a wrestling class. This week I actually took off martial arts because last Wednesday I done a wrestling class, and I sparred with a big dude. After the class, when I came home, I was busted. My immune system dropped. My knee, where I tore my MCL, started hurting a bit. I woke up the next day with all these spots on my face. So I knew I took damage. So I feel it. I'm feeling it
mm,
as but like I think my constant training, my constant strength training, my constant like lifting and the martial arts has actually all helped my body. Yes, it hurts, but I think it's helped keep the structure and the strength of it, and I learn from these sort of things. And every morning I do a yoga session. Every morning I walk to the park and I hang dead hang for a minute. You know what I mean? Like I do these sort of things to kind of protect my back. I do these little exercises with my feet or I pick up the towel just for my plantar fasciitis when I had that years ago, which I remember how much that paid. Like every little thing I get, I always like, and I learn from other people, and I'm like, oh, I got to stretch my back more. I got to stretch my knees more. I got to do knees over. I was talking to Javid the other day, and it's like, oh, I'm doing a lot of running now, and I'm like, good, you should protect your knees, man. I just do something. And he made a little joke and stuff like that because I follow the knees over toes guys. He goes, yeah, I put my knees over my toes when I take a shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna laugh at you when your knees give out. Like you laugh at it, but what I'm saying, if you're serious about this training, do something. I'm not like you want to laugh about those.
No, it's so important. Yeah.
If you're gonna do stuff that put pressures on your knee and stuff, then do an exercise from that, right? So I'm not joking. I'm being serious with you. Or forget about it. And once when your knees are busted, I'll laugh at you. And I said, I told you, like you should have done something. So even people who train, like you need to think about all the little intricate things that you need to do to keep the joints and everything strong, like the longevity.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, the medical pills are the worst, man. They're the worst. But yeah, this week I took off martial arts. I trained gym at home, so I kept training up, but I had to take off the martial arts because martial arts is unpredictable movements based on when you're sparring with opponents. It's all over the place. So I just focused on gym this week to just be in control of my movements. But I had to. I listen to my body a lot more, but I don't ever stop training. That's what I'm saying. And when I say training, yoga can be training. Going to the park, taking a walk to the park and do a dead hang for a minute can be training. And stuff like that. This is what I mean. It doesn't have to be a hard session. But yeah, it's important to kind of keep the body strong. Yes, we're getting old, but we could be 70 and still walk around. We could be 80 and still walk around. I know we can. I've seen it with people, so there's no reason why we can't do that either. But yeah, cool, man. Yeah, this week's been a long week for me as well. I had a lot of busy week at work. Most of the stressful stuff is done with work. So now I could just finish off. Tonight I got calls, but after tonight, I could chill out a little bit, plan to watch Deadpool Wolverine again tomorrow in the cinema. I can't wait. Look forward to that. I got to go to my roof upstairs later on. There's a freaking leak up there, so I got to do that. It's bloody hot out here. But other than that, man, things have been cool. Just routine, back into routine and stuff, which is always key. But let's get into it. I know we've got a lot of stuff to
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Let's
get to it. Guys, always check the description. You can skip to any part of the show. You can skip this. We'll be quick about this. Always have to mention it because I think it's important to us. But just real world issues, as always, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo. But there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. The riots in the UK, the blatant Islamophobic, not just Islamophobic, but the racist riots that are going on based on fake news and fake premises. And people took advantage of that to just cause riots and stuff. And same with Bangladesh. There's a lot of stuff that's going there, and with the government there and stuff. I'm again, we're not a news channel to talk about the intricacies of what happened, but it does affect our daily lives because we are Bengali, we are British. With the Palestine stuff, that's we're human. What's happening in Congo and Sudan and those places were human because and unfortunately the mainstream media, one, either doesn't talk about it, or two, lies about it. They lie about it. The thing that happened in the UK. I mean, to be fair, with the one with the UK, people like even Andrew Tate and whatnot, and far right idiots like Tony Robinson were spreading false rumors about the little kids that got stabbed, unfortunately, saying that it was a Muslim immigrant that did it. But the fact of the matter, it wasn't. It was a British Christian dude that did it. And now I think the British media did try to come out with that and say, look, that was fake news. This is who it really was. But it was too late. These people, they're already racist. I mean, this is what drives me nuts. They're already racist. They literally walk around with tattoos of the Nazi symbol and whatnot. So they're literally at the worst of the worst. They just needed something, they were already ready to go.
Always, bro. Always,
and the media is always going to do this shit. Like, you've been having peaceful Palestine protests for months now, and the media has been calling it, riots and hate marches, Hamas and all this bullshit. And then you literally got these far right racists causing terrorism, like literally causing terrorism. They're not even protesting. They are out there rioting, destroying, hurting people, setting buildings on fire. And the mainstream media is just like, oh yeah, they're just far right, pro-British protests, all this bullshit. And then they focus on the immigrants or the Muslims and whatnot who are defending themselves, who are and they'll focus on that. Oh, there was a group of Muslims that came out to defend themselves, screaming Allahu Akbar, and they focusing on that. It's the mainstream media is the biggest pile of bullshit ever. They should.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They should definitely. 100%. I don't know how that works, but they should go to court for the shit that they've stirred up. They keep telling other people because of the fake news that they stirred up, and that's true as well. But you're supposed to take responsibility for real news, and it's all bullshit. Because of your news, the people of Palestine are dehumanized, right? Because of your news, people hate and scared of Muslims. So the mainstream media is the biggest criminal propaganda machine ever. And they should go to court. I don't give a fuck. They should go to court. These legacy media and shit.
We don't live in that reality, and it's too far gone. Like I keep saying, it's too late. It's too far gone down for anybody to, what do you call it? Because it's hard enough even between friends, bro. Like when we talk about stuff like that. I said, bro, my name's Mohammed. My name's Mohammed. I am looking to get my head kicked in by one of those guys. So why wouldn't I stay at home? Because why am I going to aggravate them at any given moment, bro? That's why I say hate is taught. Hate is taught, you know? And they don't see themselves as human beings. They see themselves as superior beings, which is effed up already. But you're talking about colonial era issues that have come down thousands of years down the line to suddenly feel like, hey, I'm owed something. We used to rule this place. But what they're not human. Then they don't have those human values, bro.
Well, their government,
selfish.
Yeah, but the thing is,
the government.
The government has let them down as well as everyone. The government has let them down specifically as well. And again, the media has influenced these fools as well. That's what I'm trying to say. The media has put fear into these people as well, or not fear, but like hate into these people as well. So they have, and yes, they have Tony Robinson and all these dickheads who push the agenda as well. And yes, they have these feelings and they talk shit at home and they go to pubs and they talk. Yes, but when you got the mainstream media and the government letting them down, of course they're going to be like this. So in a way, do I blame them? Yes, of course you blame them for being for the way, but do I blame them for their minds to be corrupted like that? Not 100%, because yes, they were taught this by the environment, but their government let them down and the media influence them. So I blame them more than anything, man. They're the one who controls the regular person. The regular person is going to be living their life and be influenced by their surroundings and by what they might see on TV and all that sort of stuff. And that builds them who they are. Now, of course, a lot of them could, obviously, of course, will come out not feeling the way they do, but you're going to get people who feel the way they do because they got shit going for themselves. And a lot of them are dumb, inbred dummies, right? That's just, it is what it is. But again, the media's fault. I don't care, man. The media and the government, man, they're the ones who made this happen. That's their fault from all aspects.
Horrible. It's horrible, bro. Horrible. So yeah, like, listen, man, I'm starting to see a lot more people that weren't comfortable starting to talk about this stuff. And I think that's why it's about educating each other. Now, it's the only way we work better. So I'm happy to see some people stepping out of their shell and starting talking about Palestine and starting talking about these UK riots and Islamophobia and what immigrants are going through. Because at the end of the day, my parents were immigrants when they came here. My granddad was an immigrant when he came here, but he fought in the Second World War to help this country and help rebuild it as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's a part of this is my home as well. So it's difficult when people.
If it weren't for what I'm saying is, like, if the British Empire was massive, right? And it owned, a big portion of the globe, and you went around, and if you didn't go out there and steal the resources, right, it would have been a different story now. We wouldn't have to come.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, but that happened. That's history. Cool. Look at that history, you right? Also, you made those alliances. Because of those alliances are not talking about America, I'm talking about India and other countries. They helped with World War II. If it weren't for that, you wouldn't have won World War II with their support. But again, you don't want to look at that, right? You don't want to see that. Oh, the Indians helped us in World War. You don't want to put that out there. Like, put that history out there. Yeah, put that history out there. So maybe one of those far right people like, oh shit, they helped us. Fuck. Okay, maybe I was wrong. But you don't put that out there. You just say the US saved us. No, the US didn't. So, I mean, yes, they were involved. But the point is the Indians and the Russians was another story. They take a big hit as well for World War II. But the Indians helped out so much.
West Indies as well, bro.
Yeah,
West Indies, the Windrush,
all the colonies and whatnot. So, and then we were invited over here. Why? As you said, to not us, but our grandparents wanted to rebuild what Germany destroyed. Your fellow brothers, if you want to call them, your superior brothers, the ones who look more like you. They're the ones who destroyed this place, and we came and helped. I'm not saying we came and done it. We helped with English brothers and sisters to lift up the. And when I say we, I'm talking about our grandparents stuff, not me. But even now, to the economy, I still pay taxes and shit. You know, I still support. But people got to learn this history, man. And like, there's a reason why it is the way it is. And I know, putting that aside, the government has definitely failed those people as well, even now. But there's a reason why immigrants are there, and there's a reason why the UK is one of the best cities in the world, because the best countries in the world and whatnot, because it is diverse. A lot of people do want to go there for a reason, because like they could get possible opportunities out there. But when
exactly.
But when it is a shit show, then like, you know, of course people don't want to go there. You know what I'm trying to say? But when you cause a shit show, when you steal resources, of course people are gonna come knocking on your door and say, well, can I have some of that back, or can you lot help me? Because you lot stole my shit anyway, and you caused a war in my area anyway. You know what I mean? It was your lot fault, so give me something. Otherwise, don't get involved. But the history is already there. You got involved. It is what it is. Now we'll deal with the consequences together. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's not something that they learn, though, is it? That's the hard part of it.
That's a shame. That's what I'm saying. That's what influences people bad, man. They truly saw the true history and stopped spilling out hate out there and false, or not false information, just not the full story that might have educated. Because you imagine all those people, those far right people, when they're in school and they're listening to stories about World War II, and they're listening to stories about, oh yes, the US helped us, but also with that help the British soldiers is, you know, the Indians and the Caribbeans and all that sort of stuff, who were part of the Seven Nations or whatnot. If you put that out there, immediately you're already putting something in the head that, oh, they helped us. That's something, but they don't do that. They'll never do that in school and shit. And that's why you get these people who I say, like, sometimes I can't blame them, because you can't blame an innocent child being brainwashed. I saw a clip of this little girl walking around saying, "Packy's out, Packy's out." I'm like, shit, man, like, I don't blame that little girl. She's an innocent little child. It's her parents who are letting her down. And obviously the parents have been let down by probably their parents, the government, their surroundings, the media. Bullshit.
Yeah. It's horrible, bro. It's horrible. But listen, man, guys, be safe. Stay in if you guys are in the UK. I know a lot of people reached out to me, so thank you so much. Fortis, a couple of people on Instagram as well that reached out as well. Listen, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. But you guys be safe too. Yeah, you guys stay safe too. That's the main important part. Regarding what's happening in Palestine right now, like, it's still ongoing. We ain't forgot about it, and we ain't stopped talking about it. I maybe not shared enough recently, but I will, as always. But we always talk about it on here as well. It's still absolutely, they're in starvation. It's absolutely fucked there at the moment, bro. It's heartbreaking, because I saw some footage last week which absolutely destroyed me as well. And all we could do is do what we can, spread the news, spread education, let people know. But what's happening now, and it's, you know, we're coming up to 300 days now. Bro. This is insane, bro. The fact that we've come to the point where it's almost going to be a year, and still none of these governments, none of these people in power have done shit, bros. And these people have suffered and endured all of this shit. I do not believe in any of this shit anymore. That whatever, like, if he was to come right here, anybody in power to come here to say, you know, blah, 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 I would literally go to prison, because I'd beat the shit out of him or her, depending on, I shouldn't say that, but just people in power are not people in power. They're cowards and they're puppets, and no shit is happening. And these people are suffering. They've endured so much, bro, and still taking the piss out of, and still people trying to justify so many people killed. I just don't understand. It's genocide.
Yeah, it's genocide.
Yeah, it's genocide. It's genocide.
There's been some recent stuff that's come out. There's footage of the Israeli soldiers raping prisoners and stuff like this. This is supposed to be,
Yeah,
remember, the most moral army in the world, like raping people and stuff like that. You had
savage.
again Israeli politicians and high level people talking about it's just. I think one of them, I can't remember his name, was talking about it's justifiable to starve and kill 2 million Palestinians, but his excuse was the world doesn't let us. This is literally what they're saying, Israeli politicians and whatnot. It's genocide, and they murdered one of the key Hamas dudes or whatnot who's supposed to be there for the peace talks or the negotiation talks. Okay, I don't really care about Hamas, to be honest. I'm talking about the innocent people. But what they did was they done it in Iran and stuff like that. They've been trying their best to get Iran involved, and then the US are just puppets, man, who are like, yes, master Israel, yes, master. Like, whatever this is how crazy. The US is supposed to be the superpower, but Israel runs them. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah. That's how bad it
Israel
is.
that runs US. Israel is the real superpower of the world, and the US is just like just supports them. So they've sent all these warships to Iran. Israel's been bombing Syria, Iran, freaking Yemen, all those places,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Lebanon, and they want to start a regional war. They want it, and Iran and those countries, like, yeah, like I'm not saying they're any good or anything like that, but they haven't gone back and striked and anything. But now it might happen because of what they're doing. Like Israel has been constantly instigating it, constantly making excuses, assassination, these people and whatnot on their territory, on different lands. And now when Iran's like, finally we're gonna attack back, which they might do, and in a way I hope they don't because it's scary. You know
No,
what
of
the
course it
mainstream
is.
media is going to do. The mainstream media is going to be like, oh, Iran started a war, so they're going to go to a full game scale war. The US is going to be involved. They're going to back their masters, Israel, and it's crazy. They've already sent warships there and what they want it. They want it, and Israel is the Western world superpower. When I say the world, the Western world superpower, they control the Western world. Forget the
Yeah,
US, they don't
100%.
control shit.
Yeah.
They don't.
US
After
and
what we've
UK don't
seen,
control nothing. Yeah.
nice Israel. They're smart. They control the whole thing. That power's all there. It's just like they're a bunch of disgusting people, man. The most evil people on the planet. Simple as that, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, it's almost, I don't know, man. It's just like sitting here and a regional war is possibly going to kick off, man, because of what Israel has done. Simple as that, man. There's no question about it. And the ICJ has made it official that it's an apartheid state. It's what the legal settlements are illegal. Turkey's joined South Africa on the genocide case. More countries need to. I think more countries need to join. More countries need to sanction them. I don't care. Like, they forget. Okay, the US and the Western world won't sanction them. The rest of the world should sanction them. Asian countries, all them sorts should sanction them. It's bad, man. It's bad. We're witnessing it, and world leaders are letting it happen. Like, us regular people can protest, we can donate, we can share messages, we can influence people on what's really happening in there. But those world leaders are making this happen. It's scary because Iran and Russia are close friends. What if the Russians get involved? But this was scary, man. These people want a world war. They want nothing but destruction, and they don't want peace, man. They're the world's the most evilest people, and then what they want is a world war. They want that, and unfortunately, the US puppets are completely involved in it as well, and they're controlled by them. Simple as that. I don't know how else to pull it. I don't know how else to put it, but it's as simple as that. And people, when I say simple as that, I'm not no historian, I'm not no politician, I can't speak intelligently about it, but I'm just looking at the facts of what I'm seeing. I'm trying to say, someone might try to justify and say, you don't know what you're talking about. True, there are experts on the situation that could just talk so much political stuff that I would have no response to. But I'm just seeing what I'm seeing.
No, exactly, bro. And it's it's horrible. It's horrible. And listen, man, praying. I pray every day for them. Pray every day for them. Every day for them. But listen, guys, links are in our bios on our Instagram and TikTok page. Whatever you can, guys. Honestly, whatever you can.
That's it.
They
All
need
right.
our help. They need our help.
Free Palestine, free Sudan,
Free
free
Palestine.
Congo, free Bangladesh, put them in there now. Free
Yeah.
UK. I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, man, power to the people. Always power to the
Yeah.
people.
Power to the people.
Let's move on. Let's get into the geeky stuff. Let me share my screen and let's give some movie reviews on stuff we've watched.
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
it, man.
start off with this one. If Imaginary Friend. Now you took Idris to this one, right?
Yes, that's right.
And I
Yeah,
just
that's
watched
right.
this the other day, and I was telling you after I watched it, I was like, bro, this movie made me feel so warm inside. Throughout the whole movie, I was just, it had a loving, warming feeling about it. And that end, spoiler alert, I'm not gonna say exactly what happened, but that end almost had me in tears. Because that little girl, what's her name? She was awesome.
Yeah, that's right. Kelly Fleming.
Callie Fleming. Bro, she almost had me in tears when she was holding her dad's hand, who plays by John Kerensky, and just what she's went through with her mother all the way to the end, and she's holding his hand in hospital and saying, "I'm just a kid." Ah, that killed me, bro. That killed me. I'm like, oh, because she was such an adult throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, she was.
I've already spoiled it, I guess, but she was like such an adult throughout the whole movie. She almost had this job, right? Like an adult, kind of handling and almost like an adult, matching imaginary friends to kids or whoever needs them, trying to do that. And then that scene killed me, man, when she finally was just like, I'm just a kid. I can't be losing another parent. And that finished me, man. And I almost was in tears. But that movie in general just had me in a warm feeling. And I'm going back to the cast, but I mean, look at this cast, right? Ryan Reynolds, Kelly Fleming, John Kerensky, Fiona Shaw, Steve Carell. You had Emily Blunt, Blake Lively, Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is Ryan Reynolds is killing me with Brad Pitt's invisible characters. Because it was the Deadpool one, and now it's Keith who was invisible. So that one's killing me. Louis Gossett. Aquafina was in it. I mean, freaking hell, Christopher Meloni.
Oh my God, yeah, for real. There's loads of people now.
Vince Vaughn, Sam Rockwell, Richard Jenkins, Matt Damon, Bill Hardy, George Clooney. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, this Bradley Cooper,
Jon Stewart, Bradley Cooper.
Oh my God, it just goes on and
bro.
on.
Listen, great cast. Absolutely great movie.
Such a
very touching. Same thing, man. I was like emotional at the end of it as well. It's one of those movies. Remember what I said? It gave me the same feeling and same, like, I could watch that again as like Never Ending Story, Labyrinth. It had that sort of feel to it, and that's what I want movies to have now, to have that rewatchability, but to make that everlasting memory and feel to a film. I would always go back to If, and not many people would. But for me, it brought me something back. And I think I said this when we watched it, brought back something back from the 80s and 90s movie making magic. And it was probably it's in my top 10 of favorite films this year.
I don't know how to explain it, man, but it was such a warm film for movie. Made a warm feeling movie. That's how I felt for the whole movie. And
no, that's
I mean warm feeling, I mean it felt nice to watch it. It's such a weird way to explain a movie, but maybe I'm getting old and I don't know how to express this type of movie. It was such a delightful movie. It was so nice, man. And that ending, like I said, killed me. And I enjoyed it. Ryan Reynolds is smashing it. I brilliant movie. Loved it, man. So if you haven't seen If, you can watch it with a loved one. You can watch it with your kids. Definitely recommend it. And I do believe, I agree with you. It's one of those fantasy movies that you could that will definitely go back, like Never Ending Story and whatnot. Really enjoyed it. All right, the next thing I wanted to geek out about was I finished off Hit Monkey season 2.
You continue. I need to go toilet quickly. Go.
Yeah, I know you haven't seen any ads.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I know you haven't seen it, but this is generally a fun, easy watch. It's an animation, so things work. It's in the Marvel it's in the Marvel universe, about an assassin monkey with his sidekick Ghost, or should I say? But you know what? Like, just because of his animation, the action, the comedy, it's just an easy watch. It's such a great watch, and like the relationship. And this is why it works with a monkey. I know they've done it in movies, but the weird thing about the relationship building between the monkey, and what's his name's character? Where is it? Jason Sudeikis, his character. It's unusually awesome. Like, it's unusually awesome. You want them to be friends. You want them to kind of get along. It's weird. It's one of those weird things, but it works great in an animation. Again, the action is really awesome, and just the general tone of the animation is pretty awesome. I really genuinely enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good animation, easy, quick, simple thing to watch. There's nothing too complicated about it. Good guys, bad guys. Yes, there was a story part to it, which is I like. Yes, he's trying to build a relationship back up with his daughter, which I like. So you got those human elements in it as well. But it, again, it's a monkey assassin. Works in an animation. So check it out if you have time. Short and sweet episodes. Next thing, which I want to spend some time on, was this Batman Cape Crusader. Now, bro, I'll let you talk about this more, but I just wanted to start off with this. Any basic MasterCard ads on IMDb? This is what I wanted to start off with, and then I'll hand it over to you to talk about this, bro, because this was absolutely fantastic, right? The intro for me set the tone of what this show is. A Batman Dark Knight detective show. It's so hard. I don't know if it's hard, but for me, I'm not an artist. I'm an enjoyer of art. But for me to just see that intro and just see art piece after art piece, and then for that intro alone to tell me this is a detective show. This is a Batman detective show. Just by the way it's shot, just by the way that intro is, the music, the different scenes, the way he's walking in the shadows, the way he's investigating things, it set the tone. And each episode focused on him being a detective. Absolutely fantastic. This was amazing, bro. What was your thoughts on this?
All right, let me read what I said, because I think what I wrote, it took me ages to write it because I wanted to give it justice. So, Batman Cape Crusader is a triumph of artistic vision, proving there is still a space for fresh takes on beloved characters. The stunning animation plays homage to the classic noir while using modern techniques, making every frame a visual delight. Now, listen, bro, I absolutely love the show. Love the show because I'm thinking, how do you do a show 20, 30 years later? The animated series itself is an amazing collection of Batman stories, yeah? And it introduced us to new characters like Harlequin, which was one of Paul Dini's characters, and like it's a legacy to. It's very hard to do something after you've created something that has a great legacy already, you know. And when I watched this, bro, like I binged the first 5 episodes, then I binged the second, and they introduced us to new rogue gallery and villains for Batman in this one, and I just loved every episode, bro. Every episode, and it still was all interlinked. It was one interlinked, and it worked so well, bro. You know, the character of Bruce and what he was going through, even how he treats Alfred. Now, I want to do a special episode on Alfred Pennyworth because I think that guy is going through the shit, man. I feel sorry for him, man. The father figure getting abused, and you know, he's just trying to say like you're pushing yourself to a limit, but you're gonna lose the people around you in the process. But Batman's so focused, like he hates being put off guard. Like if he's that type of guy, he doesn't like to multitask. If he's got one thing to do, he'll do it. He wants to do that. That's his sheer willpower. Is that I don't care about anything around me. I just want to do that one thing. But what he doesn't realize he's doing in that process is hurting people around him, and especially Alfred. But they go into the psyche of what Batman went through as a child as well, and what he was going through, and suppressed trauma that he hasn't let out yet. And he does a little bit with Batman, but yeah, amazing, bro.
He hides it very well with Bruce Wayne.
He hides it so well.
This is one of the most animated, outgoing Bruce Waynes that I've seen.
Yes.
It almost kind of reminded me of like a little bit of a Clark Kent, who's just really like I'm this guy, so you never guess I'm Batman because Batman is this guy. And it was really fun to see that kind of Bruce Wayne because you don't really see much of that. Like
You
in the
don't see
movies
that.
we've come across, which are great, obviously they're amazing. He's never this what you call it, outgoing, bit charming type of dude. He's always a bit serious. Even
We've
as
always
Bruce
had that, and
Wayne.
I think they need to change that along the way. I want to see this guy.
I
I
like
want to
this
see
guy.
this Bruce
Yeah.
because this is what changes the character of Bruce. And I think that's what the animated series has done really well, bro. Because if you watch the animated series, Bruce Wayne was just like that. So they've still kept to the original. Now, let me get the cast up, bro. I
Yeah, the
want to
cast
give
is good.
props to.
Should I share my screen or?
No, sorry. Let me try and butcher some names.
Yeah.
Let's butcher.
And I like the fact that it was set in what, the 50s or the 60s or something like that. I mean, that whole the way they dressed, the way they looked, the way they spoke. I really invest. I didn't think I was. I'll be honest with you, bro. I watched it. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I would. Now ended up binging through it because I was so captured by it. I was like, oh, I might as well watch one more episode. Oh, I might as well watch one more episode. Like that's how it felt. But I didn't think I'll feel like that. I thought it would be like one of those like, I'll watch an episode today and a couple of days I'll watch another one. But I was like, let me watch the next episode. And I loved every episode. And what I loved about it for me was like you said, all of it linked eventually, right? Which was awesome. But each episode had its own story. But each episode demonstrated his detective skills. I was like, this is so cool. Like I'm seeing Batman the detective. It was really awesome. You're on mute or something, bro. Why is your voice is gone? What happened? We lost you after you done something to your computer. Bit of a technical issues as Kibler comes back, but yeah, your voice is still gone, Kibs. Maybe try and get your mic reconnected. But yeah, one of my favorite Batman animation. I even enjoyed this more and was captured more than
Am I back?
yes, you're back. You're back. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
You enjoyed it more?
I was gonna say I actually enjoyed it and was captured more by this than some of the Warner Brothers Justice League animations. There was something different about this one where I was just like I'm in. It was done so well. But yeah, you were gonna go through the cast, bro, to give him a shout because
Yeah, no, listen.
obviously the Batman's
Hopefully,
voice would have been
it
would have been Kevin Conroy, right?
I think I don't know. I don't think Kevin Conroy was part of this, but
Okay.
his name is Hamish Linklater. Hopefully, I said that right. Hamish Linklater. He was in Midnight Mass. He played the priest, the vampire. Did you watch that?
I don't think I did, no.
Oh, that's one you need to watch. Midnight Mass, bro. That's really good. It's on Netflix. But listen, man, props to him. He was awesome, bro. He almost gave me Kevin Conroy. I got the feels, the way he spoke, everything. Shout outs to him. He was really good. Who else? Christina Ricci, who played Catwoman, was really good. Christo Joy Brown, who played Barbara Gordon. Bro, listen. The cast, Jamie Chung, who played Harlequin.
Yeah, I'm just putting some faces because at least you get to see them. Because
yeah. Listen, bro. Absolutely awesome cast. I'm gonna watch it again, bro. It was really good, bro. I love the animation. The intro. I did put a tweet out there to Matt Reeves and JJ Abrahams to give me the whole season and change it black and white to match the intro. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. That would be pretty sick. Because that intro, I have to say, is one of my favorite intros. That intro in itself tells a story. That intro sets the premise of the show. That's how I felt. And again, I'm not an artist. I'm a guy who enjoys this comic book stuff and enjoys art. But for me to see that in the intro, and I don't know if that was their vision for the intro, but that's what I took from it. So that was absolutely fantastic show. Cool. Was there anything else, Kibbs, that you watched before we move on to like news?
Hold on. Where is it? So I've been catching up with quite a lot, probably because I've got some more time, but I'm working on stuff and I'm watching stuff as well. So I watched a movie with Scott Adkins a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to mention it, was One More Shot, which is with Michael J. White, and it's based in the airport, and it's a movie that's done in one shot. Shout outs to Scott Adkins because I rate him, man. He's really good, man. Good martial arts, great action, great one-liners. It is what it is. It says One More Shot. They go through one shot, and it's just full of action.
How the hell did they do a full movie in one shot?
The thing is, I want to watch a documentary on this. There must be the making of this because they kept on it, man. So it was really good. That's one to watch. The Cobbler, I watched that again, which is Adam Sandler's movie. Yeah, and it's about this Jewish shoemaker, and who uses this old machine to be in other people's shoes, basically. Listen, the movie is like really kind of sweet, and Adam Sandler always plays the everyday guy really well, and there are some absolutely funny moments in this. But overall, just as like a fantasy story, it's very good, bro. And watching it again made me just enjoy some of the silliness of it, but just what an everyday person would go through in that situation. He plays it so well. Another movie was Employee of the Month. Now, listen, bro, we saw that movie years ago, and I watched it again. It's on Amazon Prime, and I don't know why, bro. There are some silly moments in that film, and it's like most of the comedies that came out in that era. The guy's trying to get the girl, he's trying to impress her, goes through some whole shit. But there's one scene in there, bro, that I absolutely died in, and I don't know why it was so silly. So he has his little, you have the main employee of the month, the blonde haired guy. He has his Mexican little helper, and they're gonna break into the house, and they put some pantyhose over their face, and they're like got it over their face, and the blonde one's like, "What's this smell?" And the Mexican guy is like, "I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he's like, I got it from my mama's gym bag." I
So
died,
bad.
bro. So I don't know why. It's just such a butter scene. Great, funny movie. Not much. It's just like what came out in that era of movies, but funny movie. And then I took Alara to watch Despicable Me 4 the other day. Steve Carell. It was all right. I think for her it was fun. It was the minions that made her laugh. For me, it was like I don't think we needed another Despicable Me. I think the first 3 are actually fine. This was a cash grab, I think. There are some heartwarming moments, and Steve Carell's charisma as Gru is funny, but I don't think we needed it. Like I really enjoyed the first couple ones, so I just feel like now we're coming to a point where they're dragging some of this out too much and give it space. It's not like it's been 10 years, you know what I mean? Within like a couple of years, you're bringing out all of this stuff. And I know it's not for my demographic. It's for the kids. There are some funny moments with the minions, man. I gotta say, they gave us a little nod to superhero movies in there as well, because some of the minions end up becoming like the Thing and Mr. Fantastic and Cyclops and stuff, which is quite funny. But in general, I don't think we needed the movie. I love animation. I'll always have a special place in my heart for animation, and you can see the technology has advanced so much. Just the story, man. It's like if you're gonna make these movies, man, and adults are gonna go to watch this as well, you do something what Pixar does, is provoke the adults. You know what I mean? You provoke the adults and their thought process in doing that. And so I saw that. Bro, sorry, I've had too much free time. I saw Hitman Netflix with Glenn Powell. Charismatic. This guy's been in the business for almost 30 years now, bro. We're starting to see him a lot more in leading roles right now. Good on him, bro. This film is smart, clever, funny at times, but like threw me off a bit too. I felt like it got a bit too forced towards the end. It was very clever at the beginning of the film and who he was and what he did. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
But then towards the end, I was like, I don't know. It lost me. Like it lost the. I picked up my phone and I wasn't engaged as much, and it got into this weird. He's like they're both falling for each other, and they're looking to do this madness, and it went into this family thing, and I was like, oh.
I liked the element for me that he was protecting her, and then when you find out that she was involved and they just together, then that's where it lost me. But I kind of like the hero element to it in the beginning.
Yeah,
but
I did at the beginning, but then it just turned into like, basic. So anyway, I saw that, and then I watched a movie called The Holdovers. Now, this movie came out last year, won awards. Directed by Alexandra Payne, and hold up, where's the cast? Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sees, Davine Joy Randolph, who won the Oscar for supporting actress on that one. Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah. What a sweet, beautiful movie, man. Like, I'm not sure. Have you seen it?
No, I need to maybe have to check it out.
Well, it's one of those slow movies. It's not like fast-paced film. It's not clever in any sort of way. It's just about a situation with three people from different parts of the spectrum stuck in a boarding school. One teacher, one dinner lady, one student, and this amazing story about how their lives can be put together, but something good come out of it as well. Now, what Alexandra did was direct a movie that is so well paced, bro. Is amazing, but for me, I don't know why it is. Like, I love visuals where it gives you transitions. It always reminds me of what George Lucas did in Star Wars with his quick white transitions and stuff like that. So I noticed little things like that, and this was a good movie. Like, one of those movies where I sit down and enjoy the scenario and take in the information that way. But that was a good film, bro. I don't know why it took me so long to watch it. I would have loved to seen it on the big screen to get captivated even more. But I'm glad I did get the chance to watch it. So that's what I've seen, bro, over the past week.
All right,
2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. My past 2 weeks, yeah.
All right. Well, the tables have turned. Normally, I'm the one who's seen loads of stuff, but it looks like you've seen a lot too. Well, it's good. It's good that you get a chance to at least get a bit of time back for yourself and try to get yourself lost in some of these movies and stuff, which is also important as well. All right, cool, man. Well, awesome. Well, let's kind of bang through the news. When I say bang through it, let me share my screen and we just give our thoughts on some of the things that's kind of come up. So first things first, they've started filming Fantastic Four first steps. So looking forward to that. That should be fun and awesome, and hope that should come out next year. So, looking forward to that. We're gonna get Galactus, possibly Silver Surfer too. Mm-hmm. I wanted to touch on this because it's all out now, right? And Henry Cavill's Wolverine variant. And now because it's all out and I've seen the movie, I took a clearer look at the picture. He looks fantastic as Wolverine, bro. He looks awesome. If they was to announce like he's gonna be our new Wolverine after this, I would not be upset. And I have to say, with all love to Hugh Jackman, because he's our Wolverine for sure. Henry Cavill almost looks more like him. Like, look at his hair and everything. Look at his picture hair. He looks fantastic. Look at his hair over here. We'll talk about Gambit in a second, but I mean, listen. Look, even Deadpool took a little cheap shot at DC, saying that we'll treat you better than the guys down the road or whatever. But I have to say, his Wolverine variant was fantastic. He looked
so good, bro.
Brilliant.
So good.
And I hope they do more with him in the MCU. I don't know if this is just it, but I hope there's so much potential for him. He looked good. He looked fucking awesome.
So remember, this was a scene that they didn't show at the fan event.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So to see that in the cinema, suddenly I was telling Nash, oh my god, this is amazing. he looked awesome, bro. Like when he came out, he had the vest on, Tonks, muscle house of a man that he is. I forgot to say that I watched his other film with the Guy Ritchie film.
Oh,
I can't remember what it's called.
The Gentleman, not Gentleman.
The Ministry of Extraordinary. Which was really good as well. I really enjoyed that, and I like what Guy Ritchie did, and I loved the cast. They were really good.
But like a British version of Inglourious Bastards in some way.
Exactly that. But listen, bro. Henry Cavill, come on, bring him, take him, Marvel, make him the new MCU Wolverine. I want him to be I feel like he'll get love for it.
Hell yeah, he'll get love. People love him. I don't
Yeah.
understand the fans. People love Henry Cavill. Whatever you put him in, I'm not saying that it'll be a blockbuster hit, but they want good for him. People just want good things for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way
Exactly.
he was treated in DC, I promise you, if Marvel just what they did, fans will just automatically just go to whatever he's in Marvel as long as you treat him well. That's what they want from him. It's a weird thing, but the people want him to be treated well, and people feel like that he got fucked over by DC or Warner Brothers Studios, whoever it is, and they would do anything to just they can't even accept the new Superman because of Henry Cavill, let alone moving on with the time. So he looks wicked. I hope Marvel do more with him. I hope they do, and I hope they do treat him well, like Deadpool was saying. So that was fantastic. I wanted to touch on that because I wanted to give stripes on that because it was so good. There was Gambit's Channing Tatum's Gambit. We could talk. I don't know if we could talk about this all day, but again, just the training footage of him was awesome as well, and just his dialogue. I can't wait to watch the movie again because his dialogue is a bit more comedy and a bit more rude than I would think Gambit would talk, but so good. It gave his justice. I don't know if I would want to see him again as Gambit. I know it's awesome, but maybe move on and maybe give Channing Tatum another opportunity to something else. But his costume design, first of all, was spot fucking on.
Yeah,
like they literally
100%.
said, "Here's the comics, copy that." No, don't change that. Copy that. Like it was literally that. There was no like, oh, should we? No. Copy one of the best costume designs ever, and actually looked fucking fantastic.
Bro, sick. The jacket, everything, the way it flowed when he moved around, just like the comic books, bro. So like, thank you to Ryan Reynolds for putting that together because he looked awesome, bro. And listen, that the accent he did, and a lot of people maybe not catch on to it, but bro, it's inspired by the animation and where he's from as well originally. He said this character's quite close to him. He smashed it, bro. I'm happy with what I got and the way it looked as well.
Can't wait
to
I can't wait to watch it again tomorrow. I really can't. Honestly,
no, go enjoy it, bro.
The first time was all giggly and smiling. Oh my god! This time I'm gonna try and keep my mouth shut and just enjoy it. And maybe other people in the cinema might be their first time, so they might be screaming and shouting, which I'll respect.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna sit and enjoy this one again when I watch it tomorrow again. But this guy, Blade, Wesley Snipes' Blade, not only was he in it and freaking awesome and fantastic and looked great, and there was so many hits, but he takes the record, 25 years and 340 days as a comic book character, a live action comic book character. So Snipes first played Blade in 1998, then he plays him again, Deadpool Wolverine, 25 years later. So this actually it's the Guinness Book of Records of Wesley Snipes playing a fictional character on screen, and it beats it beats what's his name? Hugh Jackman. Who we all thought won it because of this movie, but let alone in this movie, Blade comes back and actually takes the top spot. So that's actually kind of fantastic. And I'm glad him and Ryan Reynolds, I mean, if you see the interview with Wesley Snipes, he says that we tricked you. You thought that we hated each other. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to change it. But he was like, no, like we really like each other. I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever. It's just good to see them. And when you look at Blade 3, you're like, oh shit, that is Wade Wilson, just not Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking awesome. Really good.
So good. So it's funny how things come around full circle, right? The fact that he worked on Blade 3 and then it comes to this, it's insane, bro. It's a love letter to the movies that came out, but a love letter to the work he's done as well. And the people that he respects in that vicinity of work as well. So good, bro.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is fantastic doing this. So freaking awesome. I can't wait. Again, I can't wait to watch this again tomorrow. All right, moving on. I want to give this movie a shout out, man. Inside Out hit the top 10 of highest grossing movie of all time with 1.5, just above Avengers, the first Avengers, over 1.5 billion.
Wow. Right, so like I haven't seen it yet, so I need to see that.
Yeah, it's so good. It's actually really good. When I watched it with Idris, it was absolutely fantastic. So definitely one to check out. I think going back a little bit, I think Deadpool Wolverine might hit that $1 billion mark I don't know if it will enter any top 10s or anything, but I think it might hit that $1 billion mark anyway. But Inside Out 2, shout out to that, man, for getting in the top 10. I mean, is that Disney? No, who's that?
Yeah, that's Disney Pixar. Disney Pixar, yeah.
Go on, Disney.
They've got, hold up, go to the top 10.
All right.
So
Well,
one,
this
two,
is technically
they're all
Disney
Disney,
as well
bro.
now.
They're all Disney, bro.
Because this Disney, that's Disney. Oh, it is.
It's all Disney.
Jurassic World?
It's all Disney. Disney.
Is it? I thought it was Universal.
No, that's Universal. Sorry, Universal. Yeah, Universal.
Lion King, Disney. I mean, technically, all these Avatar ones, they are Disney now.
Yeah, they used to be 20th century. Yeah,
Titanic used to be 20th century as well. Right? That's Disney as well, right?
Yep.
Disney smashed it. Disney is yeah.
Well, oh yeah, so Universal have got only one thing in there, Lewis.
Yeah, and then you got Fast and Furious 7. And that was probably out of respect for Paul Walker, out of order, to be honest with you. Anyway, moving on to the next piece of news. DC News, they wrapped up the filming of Superman. There's an image here, if you can see that image, them in the snow.
All of them together. So, looking forward to that.
So looking forward to that for that final project. I can't wait for that to come out. That's next year, I guess. Yeah, so we're gonna have to sit back and enjoy this one, man. I'm gonna definitely.
Yeah.
People are crying and shit and can't even move on, but should be good. Anyway, all right. John Wick sequel series in the works. And we're not talking about spin-off shows. I'm talking about John Wick series in the works at Lionsgate TV. So check this out. Keanu Reeves and director Chad Stahelski are among the project's executive producers. John Wick franchise. Keanu Reeves, who's played the title character in 4 films, and director Chad Stahelski has among the executive producers of a sequel series in development at Lionsgate Television. Robert Levine, the old man Black Sails, is attached to the writing and showrunners the project titled John Wick Under the High Table. Now, this is a John Wick show I could get into. Now, I know I spoke about the Continental. Not for me. It just was boring, to be honest with you. John Wick is fun because of the action. In that movie, we didn't get as much. So having a John Wick show, one, I'm already in because it's about John Wick and his character and Keanu Reeves. So even if it goes off and doesn't have much action, it'd be about him. So a character that I'm already invested in. So that'd be awesome. But I hope they do have the action series and whatnot. But this is carrying on straight after part 4. So obviously he doesn't die, which we all thought he did, but they're carrying it on.
All right.
And they might do spin-off shows of Donnie Yang's character and whatnot, but I'm in. If it's Keanu Reeves, I'm in, bro. I'm in. I know they keep trying to kill him off and bring him back and kill him off and bring him back, but yeah, why not? He's a superhero. He's got that cardio. I keep saying that John Wick cardio. That's a superhero level cardio. So, he doesn't die.
Good on him, man. Good on him.
Quick announcement on Squid Game season 2 will be premiering December. I think it's December 26th. So one of the big hit Korean Netflix shows season 2 coming out December 26th. Just FYI for everyone.
Cool.
Invincible renewed for season 4. It was announced on Comicon.
Nice. That'd be pretty cool.
Creator Robert Kirkman made the season 4 announcement at San Diego Comic-Con on Friday at Prime's adult animation panel. So that's awesome. Great show. Really enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to a bit of a dark territory here, man, to finish off. So just bear with me, man. First of all, Roadhouse director. Well, this ain't as dark, but it gets darker, unfortunately, with the news. But I think it's relevant to what we speak of, right? So first of all, Roadhouse director Doug Liman says 50 million people streamed the film, but I didn't get a cent and Jake Gyllenhaal didn't get a cent, and that's wrong. So they're still trying to figure out this stuff with these streaming services producing these movies, right? And they'll learn. I think they're gonna learn. It's not gonna be just a salary. It might be like, I want a percentage of the viewership, right? Whatever the viewership is, I want to get a percentage. Like, I think things are gonna change in regards to that. And I think right now they're honestly going through a learning curve of how I get paid now for these streaming movies that come out on Netflix and Amazon and whatnot. But if 50 million people saw it and they don't get a cent, I mean, like, imagine 50 million people going to the cinema. We're talking about over $500 million movie minimum, whatever, right? So,
Exactly.
they got to figure, I guess they're I mean, directors and creators, one, this might put them off. And obviously Amazon and Netflix don't want that to happen. So they probably have to work out something new in contracts to like make sure they get compensated based on viewership. There should be something there. So that's interesting. And then going into a bit of dark news, which I apologize, but I do think it's relevant and I do think it's important, especially because we're comic book fans and we love Comicon and stuff like that. So 14 people were arrested at Comicon, arrested in Comicon sex trafficking sting. Now, obviously, Comicon is enjoyable. We love it. And in any industry, in anything, there's going to be creeps, right? And anti-human trafficking operation at San Diego's Comic-Con resulted in 14 people being arrested. California Attorney General Rob Bonta announced Wednesday I'm not going to read all of it, but just a quick thing. July 25th to July 27th, San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force conducted a human trafficking sting aimed at recovering victims of sex trafficking and targeting sex buyers using the San Diego Comic-Con convention to seek out potential victims. According to a release from the California Department of Justice, 10 victims were recovered and offered. So listen, man, this is our world. I mean, our world is our world, and this shit happens all over the world. And we watched that movie, Sound of Freedom, right, which was a very important movie that exposed all this stuff, which we clearly know happens. It's just a shame that the world can't fucking put their differences together and save children. But we've obviously seen evil people in the world that love to kill children anyway. Forgive me for saying that out there, but we've seen it with what's happening in Gaza. They love to kill children anyway. So I am actually not surprised that the world doesn't want to save children, but there are some heroes out there and some divisions of people that are out there that do want to save it. And Comic-Con is something that we've always strived to want to go to San Diego Comic-Con, but we have to look out for these. We have to be aware of this sort of stuff, and your kids and our kids and other kids who want to go to certain Comic-Cons, be it San Diego, or be it the ones that happen in the UK or whatever. There are perverts out there. So they have to be aware. So I just wanted to put that out there just as a awareness, public service announcement, whatever. Like, guys, we have to be realistic with what's going on. So be safe out there.
No, 100%, man. It's so important. So important.
Definitely. All right, guys, that was all the news for this week. Kibla, did you have anything on before we quickly move into our this week's retro movie reviews, which we haven't done in a while? So just wanted to kind of do this one.
No, nothing this week, bro. Nothing this week.
All right.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, let's move into retro movie reviews. And this week's it's Three Amigos 1986, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short.
Martin Short.
This film is fantastic, bro, and it makes me laugh. And there's so many silly things about this movie where I'm just like, this is so silly, but it's so funny. Like, first of all, look, it's 1986, so forgive anything, right? Forgive all the bullshit. But first of all, their salute doesn't make any sense, but it's one of those things where I think kids will just like copy it, which we did in the past. The second thing is the Mexicans, man. They made all the bad guys look buzz in this movie. From every aspect, they made them look so buzz. It made me laugh, bust up teeth, grimy looking, funny laughs, all that sort of stuff, man. It really went to extreme. But it talked about, one, the insecurity of actors and the privileges of actors and just the dumbness.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Not all actors, obviously. I'm just saying that they're just generalizing here. And it goes into that. And actors who actually think they're heroes and who turn out to be, right, in this movie, but who actually think they're heroes. Now, they thought it was a movie cast. This is how delusional they were. And I guess the letter that was sent was a bit misleading as well, just because they had to be edited and whatnot. But they were so delusional to the fact of what's going on that they actually thought they were in a movie set in Mexico until they found out it wasn't a movie set. But led them to this funny adventure where they actually tried to be the heroes and they use what they've learned from the movies that they've done to save a town. But what made this film silly, or where it got to silly territories, what cracked me up was the singing bush and the invisible man. And this is just so random for this movie, but it actually cracked me up. But these three, man, great cast. I mean, Three Stooges, almost like, I wouldn't say they are, but, almost like a Three Stooges type-esque, revitalized in the form of these guys. Yeah,
No, 100%, 100%, 100%. I think that's what they were going for, was to have that sort of style of film, but with these actors. And each of these actors bring such an element of stupidness to the movie. It's hilarious. I mean, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Chevy Chase, three individual characters that bring this team of stupidness people. It's like stupidness, just pure stupidness from each of them, bro. And as you said, bro, the part that makes me laugh the most is that the Mexicans are butters, and that's horrendous, bro. That's like indirect racism in such a way. It's horrible. But
not the ladies, right?
no,
Their love interests were beautiful, right? But all the bad guys, and even when they went into a bar, into that first bar, when they were like, "Look at them three little sissies," they made all those dudes look like degenerate butters dudes, bro. It was just, but that's the 80s. That was that back then. Absolutely horrendous.
listen, if you guys haven't seen Three Amigos, it's like peak comedy at its time. I gotta say, this is like peak silly, stupid comedy. Like we get silly stuff now, but it's like this is like some of the stuff in there. You're like, how did they get away with this? But it's still funny. Like we're kids, and now we're adults, and I still see the funny side of it. So I'll never take it too seriously. This is why it's called a comedy. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to take it so seriously. Like, oh man, how did it get away with the Butters Mexicans? No, they did. So just accept it. They did it. It's a comedy. That's how it is. It's like, Four Lions and how they predict how Islamic people are going to be, and some of them are stupid in there. But it's a film, it's a comedy, but it's a dark comedy. That's a dark comedy.
Exactly.
This is a light-hearted comedy. You know what I mean? So, no, very, very good watch. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I'll always remember, look at the two little sissies. What else was there? The handshake. What else was there?
There was some scenes with some of the dialogue with the Mexicans, which cracked me up in their laughs. There was this one scene we used to die at, and I can't. It's hard to explain it, but it's when they take the photo. And my guy at the bottom, this Mexican dude, was just his teeth were out, and he had this funny smile. He used to crack us up. That's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to explain it here, but there's those are little visual.
You know when you do the clip, you need to find that clip, bros.
Yeah, okay. And he's got this visual facial acting, but that cracks
Yeah.
It's what's great about their acting in the sense they made you laugh with who they are. So and El Guapo was a
El Guapo, oh my god. El Guapo, man. Look at that name alone, bro. El Guapo,
I know, but the dialogue, there was that scene with Chevy Chase, when he was at his birthday and whatnot. And he was saying, "Oh, we done this together with that." When it comes to Chevy Chase, Chevy Chase was like, "Oh, we trimmed the hedges and raked the horses," and he's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" But I'm just busting up, bro. These scenes, it's just silly comedy, but it's
silly
hilarious.
Comedy. It works, man. Rake the bushes, that is hilarious, bro. Chevy Chase has this thing he does in there where he's like, I can't remember. Like he tries to mimic something and he just goes into his own thing. So I'm trying to remember what scene that was. I have to watch it again though. Now that I've got a bit more time.
Did he show up in what's the show that Steve Martin and things?
Only Murderers in the Building.
Yeah, does he show up in
No, that? I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I feel like he has. Bro.
That would be a great cameo for him to be in there, just to bring it back.
I feel like he has, but I'll have to double check it. It's been a while. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, awesome. Great movie, man. I really enjoyed this one, man. It was a fun watch. It was a fun watch to watch it again. And really shot well as well. If you look at some of the scenery and whatnot, I know a lot of it is like it's background Hollywood sort of stuff, but I do think it was shot really well. You could see, and when I mean shot really well, like I think they want you to know, like when they're camping out and eating bats and whatnot, the background is literally still images and stuff like that. And I feel like they wanted you to see that, and they set that tone, and that's what they were trying to portray. And that's what I mean when it was shot well. Like there wasn't, I don't think they were trying to, I know it was 1986 as well, but they weren't trying to hide that stuff. Like trying to put trying to make it like, oh, it's supposed to be real. It's like, nah, this is how it is. And I think the comedy sense of the movie emphasizes that it's a comedy movie. Like that's how it's gonna be. You have a random turtle talking and whatnot. Oh man, it's just hilarious.
Nah, absolutely awesome. Good movie to watch. Double check it, guys. It's 1986, Three Amigos. The Three Amigos.
Three Amigos. All right, guys. That is the end of the show, man. We went through a lot today, so a lot of footage to come out.
Yep.
But yeah, Kibla, why don't you take us out?
Let's do this. I think I have a little guest here who wants to come in to say goodbye. You ready? Ready to say goodbye? All right, guys. As always, massive thank you for the love and the podcast. Make sure you check out the Brothers Geek Out Podcast, Instagram, Twitter, X, Thread, and TikTok. And guys, donate. The donation links to Palestine are in our links in the bio as well. But as always, massive thank you for the love and more to come, guys. And interact with us. Let us know. Honestly, please. Interaction is key. I want to find out more. I want to find out what you guys want to check out as well. And check out, we've got some really cool episodes out now. You've got the Geek Out session with Anna. We've got the Cup of Comics with Rob Aylen. Check them out, please. And guys, remember, Kickstarter campaign the link is in our bio for Punching Bag, a movie that was inspired by the Brothers Geek Out podcast. Well, an episode of the podcast. Do what you can if you want to be a part of the film. To get your name in the credits, I've already put my donation in to be a part of that as well. So, guys, massive thank you. And yeah, as always, G-Man, we'll catch up soon.
All right, we out. Peace.
All right, peace.